Hello, welcome to Mama Sue's Kitchen. I'm so glad you're with me today because I'm going to share a recipe that Angela, who is my office manager who does everything for me, wanted me to try. And it's called a caramel apple bark. Now, I love caramel apples, but if you're like me, I just about have to cut them off. I really don't feel like I can bite into them without breaking my teeth or whatever, but this is a recipe, and I'm going to start off. We're going to have to melt this bag of milk chocolate chips. You can either use milk chocolate or semi-sweet, and I had the milk chocolate, and this is the 11.5 ounce bag. So let me put them in here. What I have done is I've taken just a cookie sheet, and you put a piece of parchment paper down. And the only thing that we're going to do, I'm not going to cut my apples until we're ready to use them because I don't want them to turn dark. But y'all, I didn't have one of these, and I bought me one. And it'll be the first time that I've used it. I've always just used a knife in everything that I've made. But you know, this is going to make it so much easier for me when I'm making the apple dumplings or just eating an apple. And now when I get ready to do the apples, I'm not going to peel them. Because you can if you want to, but you know, when you buy a candied apple, they're not peeled. So I am going to just leave the peeling on. And I bought Granny Smith apples. This is about to come off, and let me stir it. You can see. This is in layers, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pour that chocolate down on my parchment paper. Oh yeah. Okay, now you can see that that's melted, and I'm just going to pour this on the parchment paper, and I'm going to take my spatula and just spread it out. It's probably not going to cover the entire thing. We're going to see how much we can get. I'd have probably had to take a big bag if I was going to do the whole thing. But you know, I'm learning for just Harold and me. We don't need this whole thing because you know what we do? We'd eat it. Okay. Now it's not going to take long for that to cool. And to that, I have taken, I bought salty pretzel thin sticks. You know, you can get them thicker, but I wanted the thin. And what I did, I just broke them up. You can break them as small as you want. But I just want to sprinkle these over here. Whatever you would like on your candy apple. You may not want much of this, so I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit. You know, sweet and salty to me is good. Okay. Now, I'm going to take some Whaley's pecan pieces, and these are the small pieces. And I'm just going to sprinkle a few of these. I'm not going to put a lot, but just a little bit. Oh, Scout's jumping up on me. He smells it. When it's something that he can really smell, he wants it. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my refrigerator just for a little bit. Not very long, but I want this set before I do the apples and all on it. So, I'll be back when it's time to do the next step. Okay, I put this in the refrigerator for about 45 minutes to make sure it was good and hard before I do the next layer. The next layer, you're going to take a bag of caramel bits. You can, if you wanted to, you could use the caramel that you have to unwrap each piece, but I didn't know that they had these. That shows that I haven't used them in any recipes. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to taste one. It's good. I'm going to melt these just like I did the chocolate. Okay, while that's cooking, I'm going to try out my new apple core. Harold, this is worth the money. Look at there.
Turn it down.
Turn it over? Okay.
Good.
I'll get better, but it's okay. Y'all can tell me how you do this because I know y'all will. Alright. Now what I'm going to do, you know, this cuts the apples into 8 pieces. I'm going to cut each one in half, which I'm going to have 16 small pieces. Let me stir my, okay. And I had 2 apples because I didn't know how many it would take, but I think 1 is going to be enough with this size of bark that I have. Now I'm going to cut each of these 16 pieces into smaller pieces. You know, fall, I just think of candy apples, and when we used to have the carnivals, the fall carnivals at school, and when I taught school they would have candy apple sales, and oh, the kids loved it. It was just plain candy apples. Of course, now they do caramel apples. They do caramel apples with pecans and everything like that. But you might want to get that spoon over there. It'll stir a lot easier. Alright, I've got this apple chopped, and I think that this is going to be enough. 1 apple is going to be enough. Okay, Harold, you can give me that, and let me see, is it all melted?
That's gonna be hot.
Okay. Oh yeah. Now, I'm going to put the apple in here. Just gonna mix it good with this caramel. Oh my goodness. And then I'm gonna take it. I'll pour it over this. Okay, and then we're just gonna spread it out. And the recipe says that you're gonna put this in the refrigerator for at least an hour. So we won't be able to eat it for an hour because we want this to harden. So we'll be able to break it into pieces. But oh my goodness. Don't you think this is going to be good, Harold?
Mm-hmm.
I do too. I want it to stick. All of it to stick on there, and I think it will. Okay, put that there. It's already hardened, so take that back. We'll put this in the refrigerator, and we're going to leave it until this cools. I can feel the warmth, so it's going to take a while, but we'll be back. Our caramel apple bark stayed in the refrigerator for several hours to harden, and then Harold took the bark and he just broke it apart. Let me get up so you can see it. And he did it more in bite-sized pieces, you know, because now this one's a pretty good sized piece right there. But I will tell you that we ate some and it is really good. So, just wanted you to see how if you wanted to do a caramel apple, but like me, it's hard to bite into those apples, you could do this recipe that Angela shared with me so I could share it with you. So just remember, there's different ways, as we say in the South, there's different ways to skin a cat, meaning there's different ways to do things. So this is a way that you can taste caramel apple and it be in bite-sized pieces. I just want to remind you to be salt and light wherever you go. Let others see that you've got a reason to smile because we have Jesus. I'll be back soon.